Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Keeping It Kayfabe podcast. I am Greg.
And I am Dangerous Dustin Dynamite.
Or actually, I am Mega Greg. Sorry.
Mega Greg. That's right.
Got to stay in character here. We're keeping it kayfabe after all.
That's right.
Can't be breaking character like that. All right, so we're going to jump right into it because we got a lot to discuss. We're going to be talking about SmackDown, Rampage, a little bit of Slammiversary, Raw, and Dynamite, which actually kind of a lot of shit's been going on all of them lately because of all the cross promotion stuff, and I guess you could call it a big return on WWE. But let's jump into SmackDown first here. So let's see. I got for my notes on SmackDown. It opened with McMahon coming out, and I guess addressing the talk about him lately and what's going to happen with him. But he did officially step down. I mean, that happened. So,
I mean, he just put his daughter in place, but he basically just came out there and said the company motto: "Now, forever," or "Then, whatever." Then, now, forever.
Then, now, forever, and then he said, most importantly, together.
I actually saw a meme today, and I posted it on our TikTok, and it was talking about what if Vince McMahon just comes out now every single week and just gives like a random fact about wrestling.
That would actually be kind of funny.
Because he came out on Raw too, so we'll get to that.
Yes, he did. So Riddle makes his entrance after that. I mean, McMahon's thing was really quick. There's not much to say about it other than he does not seem worried at all.
Yeah, he's Teflon.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go with it being a private shared company or a publicly shared company and everything now. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. Yeah. I guess infidelity is not really something that's heavily frowned upon in today's age. So
the problem with it is the money. If it wasn't his money and it was company money, then that's a problem.
It's
ethically, not criminally.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of people that are like, "Oh, he needs to go to jail," and I'm like, "He's not going to jail. It's not."
Yeah, he didn't break the law. He didn't break
the law. If he used company money, it's an issue because it's publicly traded, and they can force him out that way. But I doubt anything happens to him.
I don't think anything's really going to come of it, honestly. I think it's going to be one of those things that just kind of fades away over time. But I don't really want to spend too much time on it because there's not much to really talk about there other than just accusations at this point. I really just want more to come out on it before I say a whole lot about it.
I agree.
But your boy Riddle came out, did a promo. I ain't gonna lie, his promos was kind of annoying me.
Well, you're kind of like over the Randy stuff.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, Riddle, be your own man now. Stop, get off Randy's nuts.
It'll happen. It'll happen when Randy comes
He's using all of his fucking moves.
I know. People have been complaining about that too.
I'll tell you something. Actually, the moves thing doesn't bother me. What bothers me is Michael Cole. Like, for example, whenever Riddle's having a match, and then Michael Cole will chime in with something like, "That's vintage Orton."
Or, yeah, he's got to like make it a known thing. Like, we don't already know that he's doing.
And then, like, after the fact, he chimed in and he was calling it vintage Riddle. I'm like, it's not vintage Riddle. He just fucking started doing it. How can it be vintage?
Yeah, how does that work? Michael Cole sucks. I've never liked Michael
God,
Cole.
he's so horrible.
I've never liked him as a commentator, ever.
He's such a tool. I don't care for him. McAfee's grown on me, though. I wasn't a fan of his style at first because I thought he was being artificial, but he's not. He's just a fan, so I'm down with it. And plus, he's an Indiana guy,
Yeah.
Indiana, got to root for him. But what do we have next here?
We had Madcap.
Oh yeah, Madcap Moss. I'll say this about Madcap Moss. I wish I cared about Madcap Moss as much as the fans of Minnesota do.
I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, whatever. I usually like go get something to eat whenever this whole. I have not. This feud has not intrigued me at all.
It's boring. It was boring in the beginning. It's still boring. I don't know why they're continuing on with it, but Madcap Moss could probably be something good if they just wouldn't waste him on such bullshit. But
He's got a comedy gimmick.
yeah, and they love those comedy gimmicks. Then I mean, after that we had Drew McIntyre come out there, and I guess he's gonna feud with Sheamus now.
I mean, they've kind of been hinting at that for a while now.
Don't you feel like that's kind of a waste of Drew McIntyre, though?
I mean, we talked about that earlier whenever they had him come out with New Day, and they were calling him Big D. And I'm like, is really what they're gonna do with this guy? Like, he's a big dude. He looks like a wrestler. He's powerful. Like,
yeah, he looks amazing. He looks like someone who'd be a champion.
Yeah, he should be up there feuding with Roman or something.
He should honestly be like that. He should be the one that when his music hits and he comes out, whoever he's going against is like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's just a joke. Like I said, apparently they were teasing him taking over Big E's place in the New Day, and then now they've shifted to this thing.
Have you ever done a comparison, a side by side of how he used to look back when he was in WWE the first time compared to now?
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff.
Man,
and then it's in TNA or something after that for a minute.
Talk about someone who bulked up.
Yeah, he got huge.
That's something a lot of the AEW guys need to call up Drew and be like, "Hey man, what'd you do? Because I need to get on this. Need to be on that stuff."
Yeah. There was some controversy about that with Booker T.
Oh yeah. You said he recently talked about how small
Adam Cole.
we had the Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Jinder Mahal and Shanky.
Another feud that just doesn't.
Nobody cares about. It's
care.
Skipping past that because nobody gives a shit about it. It's sad to see how Jinder Mahal has fallen back to obscurity again. There was some backstage stuff with Sami Zayn. Did you want to talk about that?
I probably missed it. Oh, you talking about when he was like standing by the door and stuff?
Yeah, he came up to the door and he was all nervous because he's the reason that Riddle gets a title shot. So
yeah,
whatever. He's all worried, man. He loves being a member of the bloodline.
I don't know. I like Sami Zayn, but he gets on my nerves sometimes. I don't know.
I love Sami Zayn, but like, I don't know, man. Yeah, he's another one of those guys that's a comedy act when he should be a contender. I'd love to see him get a world title, though. Honestly, I feel like he deserves it.
When they decide to stop giving it to part-timers.
Exactly.
2 years at a time.
All right. Well, for those who actually give a shit about the women's division, we had the Money in the Bank qualifying match: Raquel Rodriguez versus Shayna Baszler.
I didn't watch it.
I'll say this though: I've always liked Shayna Baszler. Like, I liked her character in NXT. I liked her character at the beginning, what they did with her on Raw when they brought her in initially, but they still made her kind of a badass. But then they like ruined her character too, because like, I don't know, she has a good look, man. She, even though she's smaller, she just kind of has that badass look for a female wrestler.
Yeah, she definitely has the look. I don't
like clicking on me again.
Rodriguez. She like comes out and flexes her back muscles, but she doesn't really have any back muscles.
Like, what are you flexing? What are you showing?
They're not that ripped up. So
what am I looking at here?
That's not, I'm like, okay, cool, but like she's always talking about her back, and I'm like, I don't see it.
We're sitting there in the crowd together, and Raquel Rodriguez comes out and starts flexing her back muscles. Me and you look at each other. We're like, I guess we're impressed a little.
As long as we're looking at. As long as I don't have to hear Ronda Rousey cut a promo, I'll be all right.
Ronda Rousey. Who is she feuding with now? Oh yeah, Natty,
Yeah, Natty.
Natalia.
They're facing each other at Money in the Bank.
Sami Zayn will face Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shotzi will face Aaliyah. So yeah, it was uh that's like next week, right? That's when we're gonna have Zayn versus
Yeah,
Shinsuke.
yeah.
Is coming up tomorrow actually, which they used to be partners, so that should be interesting. Maybe, who knows? They'll probably screw it up somehow. But
I mean, they
all
are.
right, on to the main event: undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship, Riddle versus Roman Reigns, with the Usos and Paul Heyman, of course.
It actually was. I was a little bit afraid they were going to squash Riddle, but they did what I thought they should do, and that's put Riddle over without him winning.
I don't know if it was you or someone else I was talking with where we had a discussion about like wrestlers who are good in ring. And I think they tried to I don't know if it was you, but whoever it was, they downplayed Roman and said he's not that good in the ring.
Oh
Like
no, that wasn't
because
me.
he does, a lot of the same moves over and over again.
He
But I'm
used
like,
to not be good in the ring, but I'll say I'm impressed with how far he's come along because
I love when he's mouthy. Like when he in the middle of a match when he does something and he starts mouthing.
yeah.
I love that stuff because to me that's what you need to be doing as a heel. You need
I
to
mean,
be
I can
mouthy.
remember when Roman was just like a stiff dude that could barely wrestle, and now, I mean, I was like, damn, because I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've seen him actually wrestle. So
I still don't like that he kind of jacks off his hand every time he does the Superman punch thing though.
you don't like that? He like cocks it real quick.
Something's getting cocked.
But I mean, the match was good, and like I said, Riddle showed out. So I was definitely marking out the whole time. And then we got the big fucking surprise, man.
Oh yeah, the big surprise. What was it? Tell us what the big surprise was. I
Fucking,
mean,
we get to see Brock Lesnar and fucking Roman Reigns for the 17,000th fucking time.
this is true, but at the same time, I mean, it's they always like do good.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's always entertaining.
it's for ticket sales. I mean, they don't really have any options right now. Kinda. I mean, I don't know. They could be like AEW and just book things within a month.
But
Just start someone feuding with Roman. But
yeah, Roman defeated Riddle, of course.
yeah, and everybody knew. I mean, if you thought Riddle was gonna win,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
not gonna watch wrestling.
we'll know more in the future of Riddle. I told you what my prediction is with that when we get to Raw here. So next up we got AEW Rampage, which I don't have a whole lot to say about it honestly because I thought the
Honestly,
show was mostly shit.
it was like so forgettable.
It was.
And what's funny about that is the Dynamite before that was just like awesome, full of stuff for Forbidden Door and stuff, and then Rampage was just like meh. It was like here's some matches that have nothing to do with anything.
Here's the thing. So we open up with Dante Martin versus John Moxley, and immediately I was annoyed because I'm like, why? John Moxley is one of your biggest stars, and who wants to see him have a match against Dante Martin? Is there anybody that wants to see that?
That's the kind of shit AEW does, where they're just like, oh hey, here's this random match that makes no sense. Like,
I
what
don't.
was that? What I mean, there was no Dante John Moxley interaction at all. And then here's a match though.
Is there anybody in the world who thought that John Moxley was going to lose that match going into, Forbidden Door to face Tanahashi? No, nobody. You're not going to make Moxley lose to this young up and comer. So, like, what's the point of the match?
I
Uh,
I don't know, dude.
At least put him against somebody that you believe is going to beat him, or at least has a chance to beat him. But
And they did nothing to build Forbidden Door, which we'll talk about that when we get to Dynamite. But
yeah, we had a couple more matches as well. We had Jade Cargill. She defended her TBS championship.
I like to watch her wrestle, and so
I do just because she's hot to me.
Are you gonna put in your application to be a baddie?
I think I might.
They're looking for a new baddie. So
Honestly, to tell you the truth, the Acclaimed is probably the only reason to watch Rampage right now.
yeah, and they had a match.
They
The
did.
Acclaim and the Ass Boys versus some jobbers. But
Yeah, it was Max Caster and the Gun Club, or the Ass Boys, as we call
yeah,
them,
or not
versus
the Gun Club,
Bear County, Bear Bronson
Country.
and Bear Boulder and Leon Ruff.
I love when these guys come out that like you've never heard of, but the announcers are like, "It's Bear Country," and I'm like, "Who's Bear Country?" Like, I like I'm not hating on like indie
So
wrestlers, but it's like, okay, don't act like you know who these guys are, or like we're supposed to know who they are.
so let's pretend you're trying to sell somebody on AEW, right? And you come to them, and you're like, "Oh man," you show them the Acclaimed, and you're like, they're like laughing, they think it's funny. You're like, "Oh yeah, I like this." And then you're like, "Oh man, yeah, they had a match against Bear Country.
Yeah,
This guy named Bear Bronson, Bear Boulder, and Leon Ruff." They're gonna be like, "Huh? Who?"
yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't get it.
The show ended with Darby versus Bobby Fish.
And then we got another surprise return of Sting. Woohoo!
Oh man, I'm so excited about that. Let me tell you. I mean,
Uh,
don't get me wrong. I like Sting. I like that he's still in the business, but like, he's not a big return.
they
I can
made
say
it.
that.
They made it like it was Brock Lesnar coming out.
Like the match between Darby and Bobby wasn't bad. It was a decent match, but I'm just over Darby, man. Like,
I've never really been that into him.
fix your clicky, buddy. There you go. What is that? What's the clicking?
I don't know.
I think it's your cable. Like, wiggle your cable on your mic. There you
Better?
go. Yeah, it's gone. But yeah, I'm over Darby. It's
Yeah, I was like thoroughly not entertained by Rampage at all. I,
yeah,
I found myself getting distracted a lot and just
me
doing
too.
other
I was
stuff.
actually playing WWE 2K the whole time I was watching it, so had to get those universe guys downloaded, man. There's lots to do.
Yeah, man, dude. That's what I texted you earlier. The fucking load times is what fucking is the most irritating to me.
Oh yeah. I told you, like, sometimes you'll go to download a character and like you'll wonder if the game is actually stuck because of how long it's taking, or
Like I didn't buy a PS5 so I could wait for fucking shit to load. That's the whole point, right?
it's a problem with 2K in the games. That's what made 2K20 so unplayable, was stuff like that. And it looks like some of the same problems are still sticking around.
I mean, just to go in and put like the new pose on one of the creator wrestlers takes fucking 5 minutes because of the loading.
Well, I'll go ahead and state that the result of that match was I think Bobby Fish won. Or no, Darby won, didn't he? Here, let's see. Let's find it. Yeah, Darby won. Darby won that match via pinfall. I was trying to remember here. I had to go to my
He
notes
came
because I
out
forgot.
and
That's how forgettable it was, man. Like, it's like, you know why I couldn't remember who won? Because it doesn't fucking matter and nobody cares. That's why.
well, I mean, they did set up for they did well. No, I don't know. They did that on Dynamite, so never mind.
Yeah. All right. Well, we had Impact had their big pay-per-view this week with Slammiversary.
How was it?
It was an all right show. We had the X Division Championship where they do the X match where have you ever seen that where they do
X
the
across the
climbing?
ring?
Yeah, the X
Yeah.
cross ring and they're climbing. I forget the Ultimate X match. I think is what they call it. Ace Austin ended up losing that match to Speedball Mike Bailey, which
So Ace Austin doesn't have the X Division Championship
no
anymore.
X Division Championship anymore.
Damn.
But it was what you would expect from those matches. If you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all at this point. The only other thing I had really noteworthy to talk about was Sami Callihan versus Moose. That was actually a good match. I think you would like Sami Callihan, honestly, if you watch more of him. He's He's one of the most entertaining dudes there in Impact, and Moose is great too.
Yeah, I need to check out Impact.
But there's a lot to not like in Impact, and then there's a lot to like. It's weird. I actually think they have the best women's division, though.
I was going to say a lot of people say that about Impact is that they have the best women's division right now.
Yeah, they got their women they look good, and most of them can wrestle. So
That's all you need for a good women's division.
yeah, Sammy versus Moose was like a what they call a Monsters Ball match, which is basically it's just like a hardcore match, honestly.
So that was the match I saw where they were like beating the fuck out of each other with
Yes,
lids.
yes,
That's like seeing who could hit each other the hardest in the head.
yep.
Bro, I saw like a bunch of clips of that match. It looked fucking rough, dude.
It was good, man. It was really good. And I was Sammy ended up pulling it out by like giving Moose like probably 20 pile drivers. Because his finisher is a pile driver, but he never beats anyone with it on like one go.
Jesus. Yeah, I saw that match. They were beating the fuck out of each other the whole time.
Another noteworthy one is the Briscoes. They had a match against the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
They put the Impact Tag Championships on the line.
The Briscoes look like they rob your house.
The Briscoes are scary looking, man. Those are like dudes that like I don't want to come in the club because like if they come in the club, they're already being rowdy before they get in there. You're like, man, we should probably just leave, dude. Are you done? You,
like dudes
you good for the night, man?
I see.
Like, no, they're the dudes that like not that come into the club. It's like when you're leaving the club, they've already left, but their car is parked right next to yours, and they're still out there just hanging out. And you don't want to go to your car because of it, because they might say something to you.
Yeah,
like, man, these dudes might kick our ass. Like, I'll tell you what, I'll run out there and get in the car real quick and drive and pick you up. But the Briscoes are great. Good Brothers are great. The match was great, but the Good Brothers ended up taking those belts back.
Well,
which I kind of expected to happen, honestly. So that means Carl Anderson is a double champ now. He's got those Impact Tag titles, and he's got that Never Open Weight Championship from New Japan.
That's right.
There's a little bit happened after the match where like people came out. James Storm and Chris Harris came out to the ring. So I guess they're gonna be the next people to feud with them. Are you familiar with Don West, by the way?
No.
He's like a guy who's been he's like a commentator. He was on Impact for a long time. He's been with other organizations as well, but like he's got like this really bad case of lymphoma. So he's like in really bad shape. But they like did a GoFundMe for him and such to try to collect money to help him pay for it, because I guess he's pretty much already sunk all his money into medical and shit.
Damn.
Figured I'd mention that since it is Impact, and he was like a big part of Impact Wrestling.
Go fund Don West.
I don't know if it's still going actually, because that was like a couple weeks ago. I think it's already ended. I think they met their goal though, so that's good.
Well, that's good.
There was an Impact Originals match that I didn't really give a shit about, honestly. It's a bunch of people that people like. Nick Aldis, Frankie Kazarian, Chris Sabin. I mean, all the people in it were good, but like, have you ever noticed like sometimes when you have matches like that, if there's too many people involved, it's hard to keep interested because it's just too much going on.
You're trying to follow everything. Yeah, no.
You're like, wait, I like this guy, but he's beating the shit out of someone else I like. It's too many damn people.
No, it's like fucking. It's like that blood and guts match is probably gonna be.
I'm scrolling through the things here. The only other thing that was noteworthy about Slammiversary I really want to talk about is are you familiar with Josh Alexander at all? Their heavyweight champion.
I've heard the name, but that's probably about it.
He's basically Kurt Angle. Think of him as like the modern day Kurt Angle. His style, kind of the way he looks, everything about him just screams Kurt Angle.
Nice.
But He actually had a match against Eric Young. They have this rivalry. It's been going on for weeks, and it was a damn good match. Actually, I would go back and actually watch that one. It's worth watching. That one, the Briscoes match, and the Sami Callihan one are all matches. If you want to go back and watch, definitely check them out. But Alexander ended up keeping the title after Eric Young pile drove him on the fucking wood of the mat. Because at one point they did the thing where they peel back the ring and they expose the wood.
Yeah. Ouch.
So he pile drives Josh Alexander on it. Then Alexander's finisher is like a pile drive type maneuver as well. And that's how he ended up beating him, as he slammed his head onto that damn wood, man.
Jesus.
Finished him off. The C4 spike is what he calls his finisher. I couldn't remember it.
That's a pretty cool name for a finisher.
But that's it for Slammiversary. Now on to Raw. Monday Night Raw.
We got another appearance from Vince McMahon to let us know about John Cena.
To let us know he's not scared. I ain't never scared.
He wanted to remind everybody that that John Cena was coming back next week. Like anyone really cares.
Or everyone didn't already fucking know since they already announced it weeks prior.
I'm telling you, man, Vince just needs to come down every week and give us a fun fact.
What's it gonna be next week? What's up, Ben?
So that opens with Bianca Belair coming out to let us know that yet another injury has plagued the WWE, and Rhea Ripley is out now.
Yeah, she's injured, which is problematic.
Yeah,
dude, the injuries lately, man, like all the companies are like losing everybody.
That's what I was telling you. We were talking about that earlier about how it just seems like the injury bug is just fucking running rampant through wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
you got Punk and Danielson, and
Punk's out, Danielson's out.
Bunch of NJPW guys are injured.
Why can't Eddie Kingston get hurt and disappear?
Because he doesn't do anything that would get him hurt.
That's right. All he does is like spinning back fists.
People around.
You have to actually be able to do wrestling moves to get hurt. So.
Then we had.
As a matter of fact, my Eddie Kingston insult of the week is Eddie Kingston looks like he always smells like onions.
You got to come up with new ones, because yesterday you said last week you said he smelled like old gym socks.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the smells right now. I'm going with these smells, and once I wear out my smells, then I'm gonna get to something else. Well, he also looks like a dirty dish rag, but
yeah, yeah, Ben. Judgment Day is wrestling on Main Event now, so
yeah, Judgment Day.
That fucking faction, huh?
Balor and Priest was on the Main Event. Oh man,
they could still do something with that faction without Rhea.
You know what they should do with it? Change the name of it, because the name is stupid.
Yeah, the name
Judgment Day.
The name's dumb. And don't they have a pay-per-view called that, or they used to?
They had one. That's what bothers me about it so much. It's like, wait a minute, you just can't come up with anything. You just take the old pay-per-view name and create a faction out of it. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So the show opened with a Bianca promo. And the promo was fine initially. But then every single fucking woman from the WWE locker room comes out and says their piece. I swear, man, music just kept hitting and someone else kept coming out. I got so annoyed with it. I just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. I'm going past it. Once like the fifth chick came out, I was like, fuck this. I'm done.
Yeah. Well.
There we go. There's the Eddie Kingston insult of the week. Eddie Kingston looks like he sleeps in a couch next to the dryer in his mom's basement.
Yeah, he definitely looks
good one there, Ben. Appreciate that.
What
do you got to say about anything on Raw you want to touch on?
Just, I don't know, it looks like they're gonna they're putting Riddle on the shelf or something. They fucking got him. They've had him get squashed by Omos.
Yeah, that's what's weird. All right, so Omos beats Riddle in a Money in the Bank qualifier match, which you would think Riddle would take that, and then Rollins comes out, and like him and
Yeah,
Riddle have like a back and forth. So now him and Riddle are gonna feud, but I already know how this plays out. So here's how this is gonna play out. Like him and Riddle's gonna have a feud. Riddle's gonna challenge him for his Money in the Bank spot and win it, and then he's gonna be back in Money in the Bank, and he'll probably win the damn thing.
that'd be nice. I'd like to
That's
see.
that's the way if that's the way I see it playing out. Honestly, just based on how I've seen these things before, but.
That would mean Rollins loses again.
Yeah, but the thing with Rollins is like they can pretty much put him up against anybody and just throw him in a feud. That's going to be fine. With Riddle, he's still a rising star. Rollins is a name. Riddle's still like making a name. So
I just don't like Seth Rollins. Like
we actually just discussed it, Ben. The only thing that we really touched much on, and that was the Briscoes versus the Good Brothers. Sami Callihan versus Moose, of course. And then the main event of Josh Alexander and Eric Young. All in all, Slammiversary was okay. I thought it could have been better, but it didn't disappoint. I'd give it if I had to grade it, I'd say C, a solid C.
Then we had Jey Uso versus Angelo Dawkins.
Well, what it is, Ben, is look. He looks lazy. That's what annoys you about him.
Yeah, I used to. The barefoot thing bothered me too. After that we had
Well, hold on, wait. I'm not done with the Riddle thing, actually.
Okay.
Well, after well, no, I told you about how I think it's going to play out. So actually, I'm done with that. So.
Yeah, then we had Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory posing down again.
Oh God,
Bobby Lashley.
I skipped it, dude. I skipped it, and I didn't even fucking note it, like, because it was that stupid to me. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I'm over that shit. Then we had Jey Uso versus Angelo Dawkins.
Well, Bobby had a match after that. He defeated Chad Gable. Then he defeated Omos.
It was
Otis
a
qualification, yeah.
It was Otis, Gable, and then Theory, and then he beat them all, of course.
And he gets a U.S. Championship match at Money in the Bank. Yay!
Then Jey Uso and Angelo Dawkins, which is fine.
No, that was later, wasn't it?
According to this, it was
no. Actually, it was before. Yeah, you're right.
And then we had the Miz TV segment, and AJ Styles said that the Miz had small balls.
Yeah, that's going to be an ongoing thing now. We're going to talk about Miz's balls every week. It's like it was funny once, and
that's the WWE's attempt at at non-PG stuff. Then he had a match with the Jobber Ciampa.
Oh yeah, AJ Styles did, which actually the match wasn't bad, but it just didn't make any fucking sense. Like, Ciampa's so he attacks AJ. Yeah, Ciampa's really good, man.
I don't know why they're using him as enhancement talent, as they call it, but
because Vince loves to bury anybody who was successful in NXT.
And then we had, for the 1,569th time in the main event.
Well, wait a minute. You kind of skipped a big thing on Raw here.
Did I?
Yeah. This was the Raw that we got Zeke and Elias together.
Oh,
finally, dude, for the first time.
Oh yeah. That was the best part about Raw. That was the only thing that I really fucking paid
Exactly. How did you like it, by the way? How did you like that segment?
I did. It was fucking great.
I loved it, man.
And then I made a TikTok of Elias's, a close up on Elias's beard and how fake it was. And all these people were like going. There was a lot of fun back and forth on TikTok about. Though they're not the same people. They're obviously brothers. You can obviously tell. And I'm like, no, they're not.
Oh God, man, you're really like breaking up now. right, you got it. Yeah, you're good. All right.
I'm having so much technical difficulty.
Yeah, it's still messing up. But I'll go ahead and talk about I loved it, man. Especially like their back and forth, like when they were sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is so good.
It's really the only good thing about WWE right now to me.
So Elias performs, and KO was not having it. He comes out there and he loses his shit.
Hell no. And then Elias fucking knees him in the face. Then they tease that there could be a third brother, Elrod.
Oh God.
What would you do if there's a third brother next week?
See, that's where they'll fuck it up. If they start doing that, then they'll fuck it up.
Well, when they had when they showed the match card, because KO is gonna face whoever shows up, he said.
Yeah.
And they had a blanked out character for the Elrod guy, so I don't know if he'll actually be there or not.
I love Kevin Owens in the back just losing his shit over it.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Kevin Owens is a national treasure, man.
He is. He's a national treasure. We have to say that every week. So
yes, he is a national treasure.
I mean,
if he ran for office, I'd vote him into everything.
Yeah, same. Me too. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that part, but
yeah, that was like the best part of Raw.
That's why, because I was dreading talking about all the rest of Raw.
Well, I know, we've seen it 1,000 times, the Asuka versus Becky, but I will say that out of all of them that we have seen already, this was the best match out of all their matches they've had so far.
Yes, and I watched it from start to finish. So,
I mean, it was a really good match. We've just fucking the two people we've seen together numerous times.
And it's already. You can have a lot of matches against each other, but can we spread it out a little bit? Because we've had Becky Asuka has been the main event almost every week on Raw.
Yeah, I mean Asuka won, so maybe this is finally it. I don't know why they want to do this Becky hitting rock bottom fucking storyline, but that's they're sticking with it. I'll say that.
Yeah. I don't know if she'll ever. I don't know when she's going to win again.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps up Raw though. Dynamite. AEW Dynamite.
Which, in my opinion, was probably the best show of the week.
Well, what grade would you give Raw?
Ugh. Raw?
Yeah.
I mean, the Kevin Owens stuff maybe saves me from giving it an F. So maybe a D plus.
I agree with that, about a D plus, because I mean, well, maybe a C minus, and the reason being is because
maybe C minus.
Because AJ versus Ciampa was good. The
Zeke
stuff was good. The Miz segment wasn't bad. And there was stuff to like there. It's just the show's so fucking long that.
Yeah, please, God, can we just not have 3? We don't need 3 hours of Raw.
We don't.
Rampage gets an F, and SmackDown gets I don't know. SmackDown gets a C.
Okay, so we opened up Dynamite with Bryan Danielson coming out and addressing his status right now,
which is injured.
Yep, he's injured, which is a head injury for him, which is never not good. I think they're just being cautious with it. I don't think it's that bad. I just don't think they want to take any chances. But so now, since he was going to face Zack Sabre Jr., which is a match I was really fucking looking forward to, and I'm disappointed it's not going to happen. Now he's going to handpick somebody to face Zack Sabre Jr. Who do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. I've heard.
I have no idea, man. What rumors have you heard?
Johnny Gargano.
Is Johnny Gargano released?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know, man.
What about who was the one you said?
Did you say Cesaro?
Cesaro, yeah.
He's released? WWE released him?
Yeah, he's been released.
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
Or he's out of contract or something. He's a free agent. And then whoever you said was one that I've heard too. Was it John Alexander? You said
Josh Alexander, yeah. I see. To me, that would, since we're doing the Forbidden Door thing, that would be the best option for me because Josh Alexander is straight up a technical wrestler, and he's
well, they're
like I said, he's the next Kurt Angle. But I don't know if he's close to Daniel Bryan or not.
they're also gonna whoever it is also gonna be with them for Blood and Guts too.
I don't know.
Guts.
Blood and guts. But I mean, I can't wait to see who he chooses. But that's not where it ended because after he made his address to the AEW crowd, then we hear Zack Sabre Jr.'s music hit, and here he comes, the greatest technical wrestler on the planet right now.
But he didn't really say anything. He just came out and was like, yeah.
Well, he was mouthing, but you know, he I don't know if you caught it, but he did call him a dickhead.
Yeah,
I told you he always calls people dickheads. You'll like Zach, man. You'll like his style, and you'll like how he works in the ring. He's an interesting character.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about him, so I'm looking forward to watching him wrestle.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I can't wait to see who it is. But you were talking like, if they're trying to get us pumped for buying a pay-per-view, shouldn't they announce that shit before?
Now, no, they're trying to make it like, well, you're going to have to buy the pay-per-view to find out who it is. Not like I'm going to not be on the internet and it's going to pop up, you know.
Exactly.
It just happens. I thought it was fucking stupid. I think they should have. And honestly, this whole thing has really, honestly, I think they fucking fucked it up because they should have been building this for months, or at least pushed Forbidden Door out farther past Double or Nothing, because they did almost nothing to build this until after Double or Nothing. And then they basically did 3 weeks of building. And then they throw all these NJPW guys in, expecting these other casual fans to know who they are. I don't know. I just thought
there's a reason they can't do that.
Kind of a shitty job building the pay-per-view.
The reason they can't push it longer is because the G1 is about to start, and a lot of those guys that's in Forbidden Door are going to be competing in the G1.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have thought about that before they scheduled it so they could build, because I think this was an excellent opportunity for more people to get exposed to New Japan, but a lot of people, from what I see, a lot of people are like, whoa, I don't know who the fuck these people are, and then they're going to be in a pay-per-view, so it's like, okay, cool.
I don't know. I think the people definitely know who they are because of the pop at the end of the show that we'll talk about. But so yeah, I mean, I'm still looking forward to the event anyway, because this is the first time we've had a cross promotion like pay-per-view like this in a long time.
No, I think it's cool. Like I'm all about it. I just think they could have done a better job building it.
So do you want to confess your love for Will Ospreay now so the world can hear it?
I mean, I just love anytime that dude walks to a ring. I love the way he wrestles, dude. I love how he fucking oversells stuff, and just like when fucking Orange Cassidy hit him with that one DDT, and he just did like he kept his arms stuck out, and like he does just I don't know, everything he does. I'm in love with him.
He did, Ben. But Ospreay's great, man. I was telling you this before when I was trying to get you into New Japan, that I told you I think the two best wrestlers today, like as far as like the total package, is probably Ospreay and Jay White. And then you throw Roman in there too, because I can't discredit Roman, but.
And I think my text to you was that was a good little match, because that was exactly what it was, a good little match. It was entertaining. It wasn't anything too crazy. They gave us a little preview of what Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay match is going to be like, which I noticed changed a lot of people's opinions, because a lot of people were like, even me was kind of like, well, what the fuck? And you were like, nah, don't sleep on it. And I was like, okay. And now a lot of people are like, oh, well, maybe this is going to be a good match. So
it's going to be fast. It's going to be fast paced. I can tell you that.
I mean, I thought they all put on a hell of a fucking match last night. So a lot of fucking high flying shit. And,
It is kind of funny though that Ospreay has lost every single match he's had in AEW since he's been there.
well, he beat Dax.
Oh, did he? Yeah, he did beat Dax. That's
He
right.
did beat Dax, and
But
he has
he's lost every tag match. Every tag match he's in, he
every tag
loses.
match, but he's not the one getting pinned, so it's not as bad. Really, it's worse for Aussie Open because they're the ones that have lost 2 matches in a row.
That's true. They ain't doing nothing to build those guys.
And then don't forget, we had All Friends Wrestling. We had to have a few people come out to the ring, after the match was over.
Yes.
Jeff Cobb and United Empire and
Roppongi Vice.
yeah, yep.
They had to come out too, But
So, and then they
well, I mean, Roppongi Vice is what they call Beretta and Rocky Romero, but like the other people.
Oh, FTR came out.
Yeah, FTR. That's who came out. Their music hit. They did get a pop though with their music hit.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, next up we got Christian Cage's promo, which was actually really good. I was impressed.
I love this, okay, because I was a huge Christian fan back in the day.
Oh yeah, me too. Back when he was heel.
Away from Edge, and he was a heel, and he never really got over in WWE until he went away and then came back. But so a lot of people forget about how good he was as a heel, and that he reminded everybody last night who the fuck he is, because that promo was fucking awesome.
It was a great promo, and he had a little jab in there at your boy MJF.
He did. He jabbed at MJF, and he even mentioned Jungle Boy's dead daddy.
I know, that was fucked up. I was like, oh man.
So yeah, he went full blown fucking heel. Luchasaurus came out, and they did a little back and forth, and then he whispered something in Luchasaurus's ear, and then I don't know. What do you think is going to happen with that? Think he's going to join with Christian now, or you think he's going to?
Well, I told you when this whole thing went down exactly what was going to happen. What's going to happen is Luchasaurus is going to be by Jungle Boy's side. He's going to say that he's siding with Jungle Boy, and he might even, have a little few interactions with Christian where he hits him or something, whatever, beats him up. But ultimately, what's going to happen is when Jungle Boy and Christian have their match, Luchasaurus is going to turn on Jungle Boy and cost him the match. That's what I see happening.
Well, I don't, but I mean, it already kind of looked like Luchasaurus was already forgiven Christian, because when they come out the ring, he goes, "We good now?"
Well, no, because that's what they got to do. They got to make it look like Luchasaurus is conflicted. That way, when he does choose Jungle Boy, it's that big. That's that much of a bigger deal, because he's like, no, we've been friends. I'm a ride or die with this guy. Then the crowd's like, yeah, fuck yeah, and then he gives him a big giant dinosaur kick at some point.
All right. After that, we had the.
Me too, Ben. I think Cobb is very underrated. He's actually really good. He shined in last year's G1. So if you want to see a lot of Cobb, watch last year's G1.
After that, we had the All Atlantic Championship qualifier with Malachi Black and Penta.
All right, hold on. I got something I want to say about this. How many? You know what? Let's just call him Penta. You called him right, Penta, because he changes his fucking name every other week.
Yeah, I know. I actually accidentally downloaded like 3 versions of Penta on on 2K, and I'm like, wait a sec, this is the same guy. He's just in different clothes. And then I was like, wait, this one's the same guy too, and I ended up just deleting.
So now we have Penta Oscuro, or Oscuro, however the hell you say it. Then it was like Pinto L something or another. And then before that it was Pentagon Jr. Yeah. It's just too much to keep up with, man. I'm just calling him Penta from now on. He's Penta.
But the match was good.
Dude, I love Malachi Black's entrance. His solo entrance.
Yeah, it's
so badass, man. And that music, like once he hits the ring and there's all the screaming.
Yeah. Uh,
He moves
Mount,
around in the dark pretty good, I gotta say. To jump up on
yeah,
the
to
ring
get
post and then to get into the middle of the ring, I'm like,
yeah,
damn.
yeah, his entrance is probably the best one in AEW, honestly.
He won that match, by the way. Malachi Black did end up beating Penta.
And then Miro made an appearance on the video screen, saying that all he wanted was his God, his gold, and his gorgeous wife.
I actually liked that. I thought it was pretty cool.
And he's gonna be the redeemer. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that's right. He
so
says that he will walk through the forbidden door and he will drag everyone with him. Everyone. That means you too, Dangerous Dustin.
I'm not worried about Miro. I'm not
So
worried about
back from the break, there was a video package with Warlow
yeah.
talking about he's been waiting 3 years for a shot at the title.
Okay.
I mean, he's gonna win it, obviously. So
I
you
like
can't.
Wardlow, but I'm ready to like I'm ready for him to get pushed now.
Well, you did get a treat. I don't think you're familiar with this guy, but we had Adam Hangman Page come out for a match against the last real man, Silas Young.
Well, I heard a lot of talk about this guy and how he was apparently he's been Adam Page's like rival for a long time. But they put on a hell of a match. I was
Oh yeah, Silas Young is good, man. He Silas Young is funny though. He's like one of those guys that doesn't look like he'd be a good pro wrestler, but just is.
he looks like a bigger version of my dad.
That's exactly what he looks like. He looks like somebody's dad who said, "Oh fuck this shit. I'm gonna go have a match with him then."
Yeah.
Talking about my son. So he goes and puts on his last real man trunks.
Yeah. Goes down there and Adam Page ends up winning the match.
Yeah, boring ass Adam Page.
And then we got Jay White coming out, Adam Cole coming out, and then we got the appearance of the night, the coin drop. The coin drop.
That coin drop, and man, that crowd went fucking nuts.
The crowd went crazy, man. And I saw something that was somebody was complaining about the build for Forbidden Door, and then someone else countered with Okada doesn't need no fucking build.
He doesn't.
I was like, well, obviously not with that pop he got when he came out.
Because that dude is legit one of the best wrestlers in the business today. Like in ring work, man, he's almost perfect.
So, what do you think about the Fatal 4-Way? Are you excited about it, or are you kind of upset that it's a 4-way match?
Refresh me as to who's in it again.
It's going to be Page, Cole, Jay White, and Okada.
See, I would have rather just seen Jay White against somebody in a singles match. But I mean, I guess it's fine with him being the champion. They don't want to start anything, I guess. And it's fine because he's going to be like leading into the G1. So, I mean, it makes sense. But it's weird when I see New Japan guys in 4-ways because New Japan doesn't really do triple threats and 4-ways that often. It's like a very rare thing.
I've never been a huge fan of that match type anyways. Like you were saying, it's just too much shit going on.
Like triple threats aren't so bad. Like,
yeah.
But like once you start to get beyond that, then it's hard to keep up because you're like, well, who do I watch here? Do I watch Jay and Okada, or do I watch Cole and Hangman? Like who do I watch? Who do I root for? What's the match I want to see? And then you're like, oh wait, it just fucking changed up. Now it's Jay and Cole and Hangman and Okada. So it's just hard to keep up with. There's not a whole lot of storytelling going on in those matches.
No, exactly. That's probably why I don't like it, because I'm all about that. That's the thing I love most about wrestling. Then we got Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir in a match that had no purpose really. But it was a good match. I really like I really like Toni Storm's finisher, and I wouldn't mind her doing it to me anytime she wants. Uh, Basically, she just runs into the corner of the ring and throws her ass into your head as hard as she can.
Well, here's the thing. Like the segment with Jade and Athena. So like we're in the back first, and we got Jade and the baddies.
Oh, I
And
forgot about that.
and you know Jade has to cuss. She's she always says she's that bitch,
That's right.
which she's been doing that for weeks, so I don't have a problem with it. Then we go to Athena, her little thing in the ring, and she has to drop an S bomb. She has to go out there and say, shit. Man, I feel like a lot of the AEW wrestlers are kids who got a free pass to cuss for a day. So they, they intentionally say cuss words that doesn't seem natural to them.
Well,
It's just weird.
a lot of them were in WWE and they weren't allowed to cuss, so now they're allowed to cuss. That's exactly what happened. They got
But
their
I mean, Jade already did that. So Athena coming back, and saying shit kind of seemed like a try-harding.
I don't know. I kind of thought it was funny how her and Statlander were making fun of Jade's promo.
What did
she say to Tony at the end every time?
Shit.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember neither.
But they did the same thing back. It was fun, and they did it funny. I love Chris Statlander. She's probably my favorite woman wrestler in WWE.
More so than Toni Storm. Everyone seems to think Toni Storm is the hottest chick in AEW.
I don't know. She's hot too.
She is. She kicked Marina Shafir's ass.
Yeah, she did, dude. But I was talking about her finisher. That finisher, and I don't know. It looks like it fucking hurts. I don't know if they just do a really good job of selling it, but she did it to Britt Baker the week before, and I was like, "Fuck!" It looks like she's knocking their fucking head off, and they're sitting in the ring, so their head's just right here, and when she hits them, their head fucking snaps. And I know that they're doing a good job, probably doing a good job selling it, but it looks fucking real.
That's what they need.
Lucky Orange Cassidy.
Backstage, we got backstage thing with Darby and Sting. They addressed their Forbidden Door match.
Dude, their fucking name that they came up with for their team or whatever is so stupid. You know what it is?
No.
The Dudes with Attitude.
That's what Darby Allin and Sting are calling themselves?
And whoever else, they're wrestling with 2 NJPW guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. The Dudes with Attitude, bro.
So how long do you think it's going to be before we see Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti just have sex on TV?
I can't stand that shit.
I know you hate it so much.
So
I had to bring it up.
Especially their match at Double or Nothing where they were just making out the whole fucking match. Stop fucking doing that. It's stupid.
Well, look, man, he has to pause in the middle of the match to go and, exchange some tongue with his girl. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. And then after that, we got the main event. Oh, wait. Well, Thunder Rosa came out. But who cares? Then we got the main event, Jericho and Lance Archer versus Tanahashi and Moxley.
John Moxley.
Another very solid match.
It was okay. I just felt like it was a kind of a boring main event.
Like a filler.
Yeah.
I think Moxley won, right?
Honestly, I know they wanted to throw what they should have probably done is did leading into Forbidden Door had Tanahashi face Jericho in a singles match and Archer face Moxley in a singles match. And then do something to where they don't, it ends in some kind of DQ or some shit like that. Speaking of which, is there even such thing as disqualifications in AEW? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody get disqualified in AEW.
Is every match a no disqualification match?
It seems that way.
Maybe they just don't end matches that way because it's kind of a lame way to end them. But yeah, Moxley and Tanahashi won. And then we had, All Friends Wrestling.
Oh, you mean to where every single fucking person in the entire roster came out for a run-in? Jesus.
Like, why do they do that?
Every week, dude.
On
Every
AEW,
single week.
every week, it's like, fuck. And it's funny because I text you and I was like, hey, well, at least you won't have to see Eddie Kingston tonight. Because I was sure there's no fucking way.
No, he was there.
And sure enough,
He came out of there with his fucking stink fumes following behind him.
running like a toddler.
Running like a toddler.
You don't have to end every show with a fucking brawl, with a locker room brawl.
That's what I'm saying, man. I hate that shit so much.
And honestly, I don't know if it's like just because there's still all the guys involved in this match are still in that like fucking Jericho Appreciation Society and then like Blackpool Combat Club and Eddie Kingston's crew, which I really fucking hope is over after Blood and Guts. Like, can we please do something different?
I'll say as a whole, my grade for AEW was probably just a solid C as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely was the best of all.
Honestly, man, even like other than like those 3 matches on Slammiversary, wrestling was kind of mid this week. Like it wasn't nothing like great really happened.
Besides the Riddle and Roman match, I think that was probably the best.
The Riddle and Roman and the Zeke Zeke Elias thing. That's pretty much the highlight of wrestling.
To give WWE credit for having the best shit, but I guess they kind of did.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see Forbidden Door and see what happens. It's this Sunday, right?
Yeah, it is Sunday.
This Sunday?
It's this Sunday. I think all the matches are set. I don't know. We'll see what happens if anything happens tomorrow. But
we'll probably spend a lot of time talking about Forbidden Door next week. Or maybe it'll suck and we'll spend very little time talking about it, like we did all the shows this week that we rushed through because it was all shit. Wrestling was shit this week.
I will say though, and I don't like. There's things I hate about both shows, but I just always seem like I'm more entertained and pay more attention to AEW than I do WWE. It just keeps my interest more.
It's back and forth to me because I'm really only watching both shows for certain segments. Like with AEW, the only thing I'm watching for right now is like just to see who's coming out from New Japan because I know Forbidden Door is coming up, but with everybody hurt in AEW, man, I'm so like losing interest.
I just want him back.
There's no real storylines going on in AEW right now, and it kind of bothers me that it makes me tune out.
Yeah,
we need Omega back. You think he comes back for Forbidden Door? I mean, that would be a big deal, honestly.
If he could probably come back at like the end. Like come out at the end or something, or maybe like make a surprise appearance to like back somebody up. Because I guess the main event is going to be Moxley and Tanahashi.
Well, like it would be a big deal because with him leaving Japan and going to AEW, it would almost be kind of like him showing up in New Japan again. Yeah. Since like you haven't really heard him do anything with it. Like out of all the cross promotion stuff, he's like the only guy that hasn't done anything with it.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't faced anybody from New Japan. No one from New Japan's really talked about him. So it's time, man. It's time for Kenny to come back.
That would be definitely, I think that the AEW needs it for sure.
Definitely.
But I think Punk should be back within at least a couple more weeks. And I don't know about Danielson, but I'm kind of with you. I kind of think they're just playing it safe.
Yeah, that's all it is. They want there to be, completely no.
They're not WWE. They're not going to fucking force somebody to wrestle hurt.
And it's probably Danielson being safe too, man, with his history of it. He's like, I think I'm going to sit this one out, guys. So.
It's not worth dying over, especially when you got fucking children and stuff.
Well, all right, then I guess we'll wrap this episode up. Thanks, Ben, for joining us, our only fan.
Well, no Big T this week. We didn't have
Yeah,
Big
no
T.
Big T. That's all right. Well, maybe he'll watch it later. He's been commenting a lot. Big T's a trooper. I know he'll show us some love. But check us out on TikTok.
Yeah,
And definitely like and subscribe. Well, Dustin's been pumping out the content on the TikTok, so my hat's off to you on that.
we got over 1,000 followers on TikTok.
And
now.
I'm gonna start moving some of that stuff over to
To
the
the
YouTube shorts, like the anything under a minute. So,
Cool.
all right then. Well, until next week.
Keep it kayfabe.